people who don't even respect you, don't even look for your help. And then listen deeper into what he said. The God of the Bible promised Abraham that the state of Israel will take all the land to the Euphrates and all the land down to the Nile River and all the way up to, I believe, Syria or Lebanon. I want y'all to think about the implications of what he just said. If Israel were to do such, that would create a war.
I don't know if you guys seen my last video upon this, man, when I did the talking of, did giants exist? I showed this background, and I already said in that video that anytime I do a video upon this man, I'm going to show this background. Reason being is because he is a 32nd degree Freemason caught lying. And the reason why I say he's caught lying is because what he is talking about has already happened in ancient times, with them being promised the land of everything of that sort. That has already been fulfilled within the Pentateuch, as far as with Deuteronomy, Numbers, and Joshua. By the way, I'm in Judges, and I'm planning on reading the Bible from front to back, by the way. But like I said, I got to show this background, but then also I got to show this video clip, because me and this gentleman had, I believe it was like an hour or two conversation where he was talking about the Bible, so-called contradictions within the Bible, or the God of the Bible being evil and such. But point is though, in the clip that I'm gonna show you, he talks about how out of his own mouth he believes that the God of the Bible is evil, and I could show you information that up there in the hierarchy believes the same thing. I'm not saying the lower people, but the hierarchy, they believe the same thing that Mr. over here believes.
So there are two separate beings. At no time have the serpent or Thoth been correlated with the Satan, because that's Enlil, who is also El and Yahweh.
And you see, that's my thing though with Freemasonry and all this occultism. Like how you said Enlil is Yahweh, correct?
And El.
So yes. He's the bad guy. Enlil is the bad guy, and Inky is the good guy. Because I learned this also from Billy Carson.
Enlil is the bad guy, and Inky is most of the time the good guy. Sometimes Inky does some jacked up stuff.
So Enlil, i.e. Jesus, i.e. Adonai, i.e. Yahweh, he's the bad guy within the scenario, correct?
Yep.
How is this so?
Most of the time.
How can Adonai, how can Yahweh be?
Now, not only did I just not want to show that clip, I'm going to show other information as well. But I wanted to show this lady right here. Her name is Helena Petrova Blavatsky, and she was an occultist, and she had this society called the Theosophical Society, and it's very big within the New Age and everything of that sort. Most people who practice spiritualism may be familiar with her work and everything of that sort, depending on, whatever you're doing with that type of stuff. Point is, she has this book right here called The Secret Doctrine. On page 71, this is what she wrote and said, people. That guy up here is now called darkness by the church, whereas in the Bible this is not the case, but this is what she writes. Whereas in the Bible he is called the Son of God. And she said, see Job. Now she's taken that out of context, and a lot of other people do the same thing as well, because in that text it says that the sons of God came before him and Satan. It doesn't say the sons of God, including Satan in that sentence. It says the sons of God and Satan came before God. Doesn't include him. How can you be a fallen angel and still be considered a son of God? How can you be the author of confusion and be a son of God? How can you be the originator of sin and the murderer in the beginning, and a liar and a thief and a destroyer? How can you be all of that and be a son of God and still hold that status and title? Like I said, that is an occult teaching. That's where you're getting it from. If you're a Christian and you believe in that. If you're an occultist, that's you. But if you're a Christian, you're adapting stuff that doesn't even belong in the Bible. But let's continue real quick. The bright star of the early morning, Lucifer, see Isaiah. I have so much to say about that, but I'm really not trying to get all into this. But let's finish this real quick. There is a whole philosophy of dogmatic craft in the reason why the first archangel who sprang from the depths of chaos was called Lucifer, the luminous son of the morning, or Manvatari, if I'm saying that correctly, dawn. He was transformed by the church into Lucifer or Satan. So what she's saying is, in the Bible, he's a good guy, but the church turned him into a bad guy. Are you sure about that, ma'am? Now look here, it says this. Because he is higher and older than Jehovah, Jesus, Adonai, Yahweh, and to be sacrificed to the new dogma. So basically, Lucifer was sacrificed to what the church eventually brought, with the new teaching and everything of that sort. Because the new teaching during that time was that, Lucifer is Satan. He is the serpent. And other people didn't have that belief. You know why? Because they were occultists. So what she is simply trying to imply, people, is that the whole time in the Bible, and supposedly, I guess, the Old Testament, that Lucifer was the good guy, reason why she brought up Job and Isaiah. But when the new religion came about, Christianity, and the church started to spread and everything of that sort, and the message, Lucifer, i.e. Satan, had to be sacrificed to the new dogma that was brought, the new religion that was brought, which was Christianity. And he had to be put in the place of being the bad guy, and even though he's not supposedly the bad guy to them, but he is the bad guy. By the way, I own this book. It's called The Lost Keys of this organization, and it's written by MPH. Now look here, it says this: when the M learns that the key to the warrior on the block is the proper application of the dynamo of living power, he has learned the mystery of his craft. The seething energies of this guy are in his hands, and before he may step onward and upward, he must prove his ability to properly apply energy. Whose energy is he applying, people? Clearly the one that is in his hands at that moment. And whose energy is in his hands? It's plain as day, plain Jane, right there. Page this. So when the M learns the key to the warrior on the block, whatever that want to interpret that as, guess what? He will learn the mystery of his craft. But this is the thing, though. The catch is this: the seething energies of this guy, this entity, will be in his hands, and he could properly apply that. He must follow in the footsteps of his forefather, Tubal Cain. That is a descendant of Cain, by the way. By the way, this is Albert right there, and he was a 33rd degree, and he was the head of the ancient accepted Scottish Rite of that organization. And he controlled the Southern District. Now he writes in this book, Morals and Dogma, on this page, this guy right here, the light bearer, strange and mysterious name to give to the spirit of darkness. This guy, the son of the morning, is it he who bears the light, and with his splendors intolerable blinds feeble, sensual or selfish souls, doubt it not. So it is this guy right here who is the light bearer. He's the son of the morning, but then also not just that, it is he who bears the light. Light means truth. So Lucifer bears the truth, and Adonai bears the lie. Who is the God of this organization? What is more absurd, more impious than to attribute the name of that guy to the devil? That is to be personified evil. The intellectual, that guy, is the spirit of intelligence and love. It is the Paraclete, the advocate, an advocate. Now look here. So basically, this guy is now what? The spirit of intelligence and love? Sounds kind of like the traits of the Holy Spirit.